Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Liz if you guys are new here, and for today's video I have some really fun farmhouse slash spring type decor for you guys. Some really fun DIYs that I think you guys are gonna love. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in. For this DIY, I'm gonna take one of these wood rounds that you can get from Walmart for 98 cents. So cheaper than the Dollar Tree at this point, but I'm just going to remove that staple from the top and then the sticker from the back. I'm also going to take some of these mini candlestick holders that you can get in a pack from Hobby Lobby. I want to say they come in a 4-pack and they're in their wood section. And I'm going to take 3 of those, and that is what I'm going to use for the feet on this riser that I'm going to make. So I'm going to use a combination of E6000 and my Gorilla Gel Super Glue, and I'm just going to stick those on the bottom portion of this wood round. Now I'm going to take some wooden beads that I got in a pack from Amazon, and I'm going to string them onto some twine. Now what I would have done if I was to redo this project is to paint the beads first before gluing them down to the riser. That would have saved me so much time. So if you're recreating this, paint the beads before you glue them down. But I'm going to add just enough beads onto the twine that it's going to fit around the top portion of my riser just on the outside. Once I have enough beads on there, I'm just going to take my twine and tie it into a double knot, making it as tight as I possibly can. And then I'm going to take some more of my Gorilla Gel Super Glue and I'm going to start adhering my beads down to my riser. I just took a little bit of super glue on a bead, stuck my bead to the circle on the outside, and I just followed that same exact process around the entire thing. I didn't glue every single bead down, but the majority of them were glued down. So as you can see, I would just add some glue to a bead. Sometimes I'd add it to the top and then just speed the bead around until it touched the circle. And then I would move on to the next bead, and I just waited for the other beads to dry. So I made sure that they were all nice and even around the top of the riser. Now I'm going to go in with my Dixie Belle chalk paint in Vintage Duck Egg. This is one of my absolute favorite colors of chalk paint, especially from the Dixie Belle line. I just absolutely love it. I don't know what it is about this color. It just screams farmhouse to me. So it's one of my favorites, and I just painted the entire thing with all of this. So like I said, if you had painted the beads previously, you wouldn't be trying to like get into all the nook and crannies of the beads. So paint the beads beforehand. It'll save you so much more time. And then I wanted this to be a little bit more distressed. So on a brush from the Dollar Tree, I'm going to take some Waverly chalk paint in white, and I'm just going to dry brush around the entire thing. I went around the beads, did a little swirl on the top of the riser. I distressed it on the bottom and on the feet, just pretty much everywhere. And that's all you got to do for this DIY. Add some of your favorite farmhouse decor or spring decor on top of it. I just think it makes a really cute extra statement piece, gives some different levels to your decor, maybe on a shelf or console table of some sort. I just think that this turned out super cute. For this DIY, I'm going to take this barn piece that I actually picked up from the Target dollar spot for $3. It is very cute as it is, but I just kind of wanted to mix it up, make it my own. And I'm going to take my Dixie Belle chalk paint in Barn Red, and I'm going to start by painting the back of it. The back is going to be the front for this piece. The nice thing is you could actually make it a double-sided piece if you want. Do something else to the back or leave the back as is, and it still looks cute either way. But I'm just going to paint the back and the front. I'm going to leave the sides that white color. After I've got that painted, I'm going to take this little wood round that I got in a 6-pack from Walmart. I believe it was maybe $1 or $2 for the 6-pack. And I'm just going to take my Waverly chalk paint in white, and I'm going to give the front and the sides a good coat. Didn't bother painting the back because it's going to be glued to the barn anyways. So you won't have to worry about that. And then I'm going to take some Waverly Wax and Antique, and I'm going to go around the entire circle, just giving it a little extra touch, little extra dimension. And then I also did the same thing for the barn. I took that Waverly Wax and Antique and went around all of the sides and all the edges, kind of to make it look a little bit more distressed. And then once I had gone around all of the sides, I took that brush and I wiped off the majority of the wax that was on it, and I just kind of drug it back and forth on the barn. It's kind of hard to tell on video, but you can see that distressing in person, and I think it looks really, really good. Now I'm going to take some of my Gorilla Gel super glue and I'm going to glue that to the middle of my barn, and then I'm going to take this COUTURE transfer that says Home Sweet Farm. I think this is super adorable, and I just placed it in the middle of my wood round, and then I just used my chalk paste in black to go over that. I personally am obsessed with COUTURE. You probably know if you watch my channel, and if you haven't tried them yet, I would say grab yourself the Club Couture membership. That's $20 a month. Get your feet wet, see how you like it before jumping right in. But like I said, I'm personally obsessed. I think it's super cute. All you got to do is apply your paste and then peel your transfer up. And look how cute this is on the barn. I just think it's absolutely adorable. So I knew I wanted to add a couple other things to it. It was looking a little too plain just with those two pieces. So I cut off some greenery that I had in my stash, and I had some twine. I just wrapped it around the bottom of the barn about 4 times, tied a double knot in the middle, and then I am going to hot glue those 2 greenery pieces that I cut off, and I'm just going to glue them down in the middle of the barn, and then I'm going to make a twine bow. And how I do that is just take my index finger and my thumb, and I just wrap the twine around those fingers about 3 times, cut off the excess, and then I'll take another small piece of twine and I'll tie it in the middle of those loops. And then that's all you got to do. Just cut off the excess twine at the bottom and you're done. You have a really cute twine bow. And I am just going to hot glue that to the middle right in between both of those greenery pieces. And that is all you have to do for this DIY. Super, super easy. And I just think it looks really cute. And it cost me maybe $4, if that, to make. And you have a really cute piece of home decor. For this DIY, I grabbed an embroidery hoop. I used the inner hoop, and I'm going to take my Waverly Wax and Antique and I'm going to stain the hoop. I just used a cloth to stain it. You could also use a paintbrush, which I did as well. It definitely helped to get more of the wax on there all at once. And then I just used a cloth to remove the excess wax. While that's drying, I'm going to grab another one of these wood rounds from Walmart that is 98 cents, and I'm going to paint this with my Waverly chalk paint and plaster. I just did 1 good coat of this paint. And then I'm going to take a bunch of florals that I got from the Dollar Tree. These were in their new spring section, but I'm pretty sure we've seen these in the past. But I just grabbed a couple of the lavender picks and some of these picks with the yellow flowers on them. I thought they were really adorable and perfect for spring. I used maybe 2.5 picks, 2 of the lavender and then 1 of the yellow florals. So I decided to do something a little bit different than a typical wreath. I'm going to take all the pieces that I've cut up and I'm going to use some floral wire and wire them together, and then I'll wire them around the hoop itself. But I'm just going to go in a little section on the side, so you'll be able to see what I'm doing, but I'm just going to start at the top and then I'm going to layer my way down the side. And all I used was the floral wire to hook all this together. I may have used a little bit of hot glue just to keep 1 or 2 pieces down in a place that I liked it. But other than that, the floral wire works perfect. So once I got to the bottom, I didn't want the bottom of the stems to be seen, so I decided to take some twine. I tied a double knot at the very bottom of my stems, and I started wrapping the twine all the way around it so that the end of the stems would be completely covered up. So it looked like it almost just kind of flowed into the twine, if that makes sense. But I just kept wrapping it until I got a little bit of ways down, maybe 2 inches or so of twine, and I hot glued the end of that twine to the back of the hoop, and I cut off the excess of that twine. And then I did the exact same thing to the opposite end with the top of the florals. I didn't cover any of the florals up. I just wanted the twine look wrapped around that portion, again maybe 2 inches, to kind of make it more cohesive with the twine on the other end. Now again, I'm going to go in with a COUTURE transfer. I'm going to use this welcome one. This one has a whole bunch of different welcomes. I chose this cute kind of cursive font, and I'm just going to take that off the backing. I will fuzz it because I've never used this transfer before, so I want to make sure it's not too sticky. And then I'm just going to center it as best as I can on my wood round. And then I am using the chalk paste in eucalyptus. This is one of my all-time favorite colors. I just think it's absolutely gorgeous. So, and perfect. It tied in really well with those spring florals from the Dollar Tree. So I'm just going to add that to my transfer, and then I will peel my transfer up, make sure that I wash it so that I can reuse it. And then I'm going to hang this in my wreath by taking some ribbon from the Dollar Tree. This is the Farmhouse ribbon. I'm going to wrap that around the hoop, and then I will hot glue it to the back of the round. And then I'm also going to make a bow with that same ribbon. So I just make 2 loops with the bow, tie them in your regular, shoelace kind of knot. And then I just mess with the loops a little bit, get them as big as I want them to be. And then I'm just going to measure out how long I want those tails. And I'll cut the excess ribbon off, hot glue it down to the top of my round. And then I just made a little hanger by tying a loop with some twine and hot gluing it to the back of that ribbon. And that's all you got to do for this DIY. I think this is so cute to add to a door, or even just hang it on your wall next to your other spring decor. This one is definitely my favorite for today's video. And that's it for today's video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you did, let me know which project was your favorite in the comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe before you guys leave. Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!